Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about the make a new track scenario and its parenting, and whether or not you should bother with parenting in URA Finale and Unity Cup currently on Global. Currently on Global, there's only going to be two champions meeting left, being a sprint CM, the CM that we have currently, which is Shakio 1200 meters, and let's be real, it's not really going to be that of importance because it is a very gambly CM, so you shouldn't really go all in on it. And the next champions meeting after that is a dirty champions meeting. You can of course try your best with the parenting, but from my recommendation, as somebody who plays Umamusume a lot, I don't really recommend grinding either scenario unless you have a very niche case scenario. If you are a frontrunner grinding for ignited spirit power or ignited spirit web. So that is my basically recommendation. You shouldn't really bother with parenting. You can have like decent affinity parents, and that's pretty much it. Because in making a track scenario, the main way for you to get your skills is very interesting. You will get a lot of rival races throughout your career, and what it is that you are up against a specific Uma. If you beat that Uma, depending on the track and the strategy that you will use, you will get a random skill based off of it. So, for example, this is going to be the Japan Derby. If I beat Fuji Kisuki in this map, that means that I will be able to get either a random medium skill, and let's say I put Gold City has a late surger. That means is that I will either get a medium or I will get a late surger skill. And since this is very frequent, you will get a lot of skills, which is extremely good. Your SP total in this scenario is going to be a lot higher compared to URA Finale and Unity Cup, because you are racing very frequently, about 30 to 40 times in total. You will get very high amounts of skill points. So overall, your skill points is going to be better, your skills are going to be better, and on the right over here, you can race any rotation of races that you want. However, keep in mind that you need the correct attributes for it, and let's be real, just do not spam races every single turn. You need to take some turns to train, because there is going to be something extremely important regarding rating that I want to talk about later. So, for the spark itself, URA Finale gave you stamina and speed, which was very good. Unity gave you power and wit, which is of course still decent. However, in Make It Track, you get stamina and guts. Stamina and guts, unironically, is going to be better than stamina and speed. Since you already cap your speed in most cases, speed from the URA Finale spark often isn't really that used. However, since guts has been reworked, the higher guts that you will get from this will be better than getting more speed. So overall, Making You Track Spark itself is going to be better than both of the current scenarios. One key thing that I want to talk about is that an ace run in Make You Track does not equal to a parent run with an asterisk. So there is a conception of, hey, I'm going to race a lot, so that means is that clearly I will get high affinity because I raced it a lot. While that is true, each Uma, and depending on the career itself, can race on different turns. So that means that you won't actually get a big of a benefit in affinity, because let's say on like turn 10 you have, I don't know, like a G2 race. Who knows, the next run or the parent that you are going to prepare for the next run might not even need to race on turn 10, because there is an extremely good training that you will use instead. So this is what I mean. However, the affinity, yes, is going to be better overall. This is just something that I wanted to talk about very quickly. So another thing that Make It Track really likes is having good distance attributes. For example, Saiyan Sky has really good attributes because she can run well on mile, medium, and long. However, you want to put like a single spark in mile because you want it to be at least B for you to properly race in a specific distance. B is fine. So one spark on Saiyan Sky is good because you're able to race mile, medium, and long, which is a lot of variety of overall races. TM Opera, for example, is going to be still good, but she needs slightly more help than usual because her mile attribute is at E. You want at least 7 sparks to raise it to B so that she can comfortably get wins on mile distance tracks. Unfortunately, for Umas like Nishino Flower, it could be a big issue. The reason is because most Umas already run medium and long, and each common race that you have on all sides is 5 affinity. That means is that Nishino Flower is not going to run medium and not going to be running long unless you heavy spark invest in medium. Her affinity is actually going to be slightly lower than usual compared to other Umas. For example, Summer Marzanski. Her affinity is not really good with most of the cast. However, since she can run practically every single attribute race, she is able to get very high affinity if you get a lot of common races with other Umas. So keep that in mind. Here is the Japanese reading that will exist throughout Make a New Track scenario. They are going to be extremely unique because half of them is medium. One of them is long, one of them is a mile, and one of them is a short. There is no dirt Japanese reading throughout the period of Make a New Track. So, as you can see over here, the greens on some races are actually very common with each other. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Champions Meeting related stuff. One thing that is going to be extremely important in Make a New Track scenario is the common sparks that you have on your parents. Since Make a New Track does take a long time to complete, you will probably have a lot of skills. So your overall sparks is going to be higher than usual, which is good. However, you wanted to have the sparks of specific skills to be on your grandparents or parents, all of them, because it of course increases your chances. I already talked about it in a separate video. Here, if you have all 6 parents have groundwork spark, they will have 35.4% chance of you getting groundwork on the new parent. Very good, because Make a New Track of course takes a long time. Then we have double circle skills. Again, it increases the chances by a decent amount if you have all parents get the same exact spark. So you will have a 44.3% chance of getting, let's say, double circle winter runner has a spark because you have winter runner on all your parents, if you get what I mean. And of course, buying the gold skill is going to be extremely powerful because it doubles your chances of it being into a spark, which is extremely helpful. So this is going to be something extremely important, and this is going to be a major upgrade from Make a New Track compared to the other scenarios, because you can get SS rank extremely easily in Make a New Track scenario, which actually buffs the white sparks star chances, not the white spark itself, the stars. So currently, if you are below SS rank, you have a 50% chance to get 1 star, 45% chance to get a 2 star, and 3 star is 5% chance. However, if your rank is SS and higher until the UE rank, you will get the chances to be different. 1 star is only 20% chance as opposed to 50% chance. 2 star gets buffed from 45% chance to 70% chance, and 3 star goes from 5% chance to 10% chance. this is actually much bigger than what you expect, because you essentially have 80% chance to get a very strong spark compared to 50% chance in total. So, the Korean version and the Taiwanese version of Umamusume got something called Super Skip and Spark Rerolling, with the release of the first year anniversary on their server. This is extremely important. If we get the same treatment, Make a New Track or release for the Japanese version was about an hour to complete. However, with Super Skip, what Super Skip does is that it automatically sends you to the last dialogue of a specific support cards, story event, etc. etc. So you remember how long like the Kita-san Black event is, was the like, let's say step 3. You watch Kita-san Black run, that you get like to see her with Sideshow Diamond. So what ends up happening is that you instantly just skip all of that. You get the Professor of Curvature hint. You save yourself like 10 seconds of the game trying to load it fast. No, now you will instantly just finish it. It's extremely helpful. It reduces Make a New Track lengths from an hour to like 40 minutes or 35 minutes if you are running fast, which is extremely nice. If they add the Spark rerolling feature too, it is going to be extremely good. The reason is that there is going to be half TP cost event happening within the Make a New Track scenario, because it is a part of the first year anniversary celebration, and this does affect the Spark rerolling. So instead of you costing 60 TP in total to see 2 sparks, you will only need 30 TP. However, the good thing about it is that you get to see 2 different sets of sparks in one run, effectively cutting a Make a New Track run from seeing a single spark in 45 minutes to seeing 2 sparks in 45 minutes each, which means that the quality of the parents in Make a New Track scenario is going to actually tremendously boost in value overall, which is of course nice, because the problem with current global is that most people do not really care about parenting. However, with the release of Make a New Track scenario, and people will probably run a lot more, you will get higher quality parents overall. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The gist of it is that Make a New Track scenario is going to be extremely good in parenting, and also of course ace runs. However, if we do get the Spark rerolling feature and also get the hyper skip, then I would not recommend a lot of people to grind either 2 scenarios unless you are looking for a specific spark in Unity Cup. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you found this video to be helpful, consider subscribing and consider joining the community server linked in the comment section, and I hope to see you in the next one.